it'll be interesting to see what the Knicks do. But the Knicks are at a point now where they don't have to blow it up. They may still do so, and they have a right to do so, but with trading the 4 first-round picks and the pick swap for Mikal Bridges, the Knicks don't have a lot of room in regards to actual picks to throw at people.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Plenty of takeaways from Yankees-Dodgers where LA sent the message on Saturday, and the only way the Yankees could salvage it was somehow beating Yamamoto, and they did.
You're staring a sweep in the face. And after losing the World Series, knowing what the opponent is, you know what the narrative would have been on Sunday Night Monday. Oh, Yankees get swept by the Dodgers.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this once? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The early line, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that rim. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
Just a little flyer, couple of
15.5 point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Let's roll. This is SportsRage. I am Gabriel Morency. The pits, the players, the hustlers, the people to bust them, and everybody else in between. Let's do this thing. The Wicked Wednesday has begun. We're at the half, although the third quarter is rapidly approaching. Game 3 of the NBA Finals. The Pacers came out slow, as they often have in the postseason, and they were playing with fire early. There's only so many times you can come back from double-digit deficits, and they've done it 5 times where they're down by 15 or more points in the playoffs, the most from any team since 1998. But the Pacers' defense has been a difference. They're creating a lot of turnovers, and the Pacers' bench has been a big difference. The Pacers' bench is like dominating this basketball game, and that's why the Pacers are hanging on to a 4-point lead. The Thunder are always dangerous. They're always like a 17-4 run away, right? But those runs are a little bit more frequent when they play in Oklahoma City than they do on the road. They're just 4-3 on the road. But the Oklahoma City Thunder, they're in a position where basically, they could lose every road game and they could still win the championship, right? But, they lost one, so they got to get it back right now. So obviously it's a big turning point in this series. I've thought, I've been saying for the last 48 hours, I thought they were going to be tied at 2 after the 4 games. We'll see what happens here now. The Pacers closed as 5.5-point underdogs tonight. They're currently plus 1.5 right now. So the Oklahoma City Thunder are still favorites, minus 135 on the money line. The Pacers are plus 105 on the money line. They were plus 185 on the money line. Total is currently 235.5. It came down, right? It was the 228, 227.5, 226.5. Ended up closing at 226, which somewhat surprised me, because game 1 started off really slow, and they still got to 221. They got to 230 in game 2. We talked about it on last night's show about how the Pacers are going to want to push the pace. Pacers aren't going to beat these guys playing half-court basketball, right? They need to, play sort of, faster. And you can't really – I can't even say you need to play, chaotic. You know what I mean? If you play chaotic against Oklahoma City, it's a dangerous way to play. Oklahoma City, they're a good street ball team. And they're going to come up with more turnovers and more stops and chaos as well. But you have to be aggressive against the Oklahoma City Thunder. You know what I mean? Take it to the rack. Don't settle for bad shots. Be aggressive. And Halliburton did an interview before the game. I wasn't really overly in love with his comments, in which he said that the Oklahoma City Thunder defense is the best defense that he's ever seen in his life. He said, I've never played against a defense this good before. And he said, they're very long and they're active in the paint and they're always swatting at the ball. And he said, they seem like they're there even when they aren't there. And I couldn't help but think of I'm seeing ghosts with Sam Darnold. And Halliburton's hitting shots and stuff, but you can see he's a little bit freaked out when he goes into the paint a little bit. Against the Knicks, against the Cavs, against everybody, he was super aggressive. I'm going to take it to the rack or whatever happens, happens. Against Oklahoma City, he's not so sure about it. But nevertheless, we got ourselves an entertaining game, 64-62. So we pulled the trigger on the over 235 and a half at the half. So we've got to get 112 points in the second half. We're on the Pacers plus the points. Pacers plus 2.5 in the series, money line, over 226. But we went over the 235 and a half. I don't think we're going to get 124 points or something in the second half, but I think we can get to 112. Right? It's not asking that much. There's still going to be a couple of flurries. There's going to be a bunch of fouls and free throws. So I think we can just sort of grind this out and get to 240, 238, 238, 239, 240. We just got to get to 236. But the Oklahoma City Thunder responded with a quick 6 spot to start the second half, 6-0. And Carlisle doesn't like what he sees. He shuts it down. See, a 4-point, that's what I was talking about. They go on these runs where you don't really even realize it until you look up at the scoreboard. So smart move by Carlisle to shut it down as quickly as he did. And he shut it down quickly. We're at the 10:34 mark right now. So we played a minute and 16 seconds, and it's 6-0 Oklahoma City. And Carlisle's like, all right, guys, shut this thing down. And the Pacers, they start games slow. They can't afford to start this half slow. That's the one thing with Oklahoma City. They are relentless. They might not make every shot and stuff, but they don't take the pedal off the metal with their aggression and the way that they play. So this is going to be an interesting ride here tonight. It's championship week this week on the grid. I am Gabriel Morency. This is Sports Rage. Of course, Sirius XM Channel 159, SportsGrid Radio and Television Network. NBA Finals tonight. A pivotal Game 4. The term must win gets tossed around a lot in the postseason, and I'm guilty of it. But it really is a must win for the Edmonton Oilers tomorrow. They can't afford to go down 3-1 against this Florida Panther team. Yeah, they came back from 3-0 down last year, and they still ended up losing a series. We all know it. The Oilers know it. The Panthers know it. You know it. I know it. The announcers know it. The dudes that sell the beer in the arena know it. That tomorrow night the Stanley Cup is basically, it's on the line. For the Oilers can't win the Stanley Cup tomorrow, but they can lose it. We got the U.S. Open. Speaking of championship weeks, we got another major. And I will say one thing about the golf season. It is much better that they readjusted their schedule, right? It really is now, basically once a month. You have to wait a little bit while after the Masters, but basically it's almost like every month we got a major, right? And then so the casual golf fans can get into the major tournaments. The hardcores are betting it every week. But we got another major championship, and we got Brady Cannon in the house, breaking it all down. We got the Raging Redhead, Cam Stewart, in the house, breaking it all down. So between the two of them, they probably have 212 selections for the U.S. Open. I'm going to throw some darts. I got a couple of guys that I like. I don't like, whenever I bet golf, I feel like I'm playing the lottery, and I'm giving my money away. I don't win every other sport I bet either, but when I bet golf, it's like, all right, here goes $400. I end up, I put 50 on this guy, 50 on this guy, 75 on this guy, 100 on this, 200 on this, not to make the cut or whatnot. And I always end up losing. Once in a while, I'll win the tournament. Not often, though. So I did hit, though, what did I hit the Rory win. I did hit Rory this year at Augusta. But for the most part, I feel like I'm just donating to the sports book. But we'll listen to Cam. We'll listen to Brady and what they have to say. I can tell you, I keep coming back to John Rahm for one reason or another. I feel like this is a time for John Rahm to remind people how good he actually can be. Major League Baseball, it was a busy day earlier today. For the record, the Toronto Blue Jays won again. These guys are smoking hot right now. They're 12-2 in their last 14, 13-3 in their last 16. They've won 5 consecutive series right now. Number 1 offense in baseball since May the 8th. Everything is clicking for the Toronto Blue Jays. And they've got a big series at the end of the month against the New York Yankees in Toronto that could actually be kind of cool and important. Speaking of the Yankees pounded the Royals last night. They're doing it again, 6-0 for the Yankees over the Kansas City Royals. Twins up 6-2 on the Rangers. The Pope might be a White Sox fan, but they still suck. Astros 8-2 right now over the White Sox. Rockies beating the Giants. We know how this worked out last night. And the Giants cashes big underdogs late after the Colorado Rockies blew another lead. So, you know what I said? I almost feel like I'm donating to the book when I play golf or I'm playing a lottery ticket. This is almost like they're giving away money. This is like the Joker in a Batman movie. He's giving away dollar bills. He's throwing them up in the air. And those dollar bills have San Francisco Giant logos on them. This is SportsRage.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
Two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this once? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Did you know sportsbooks tend to draw up tighter bet lines for events that get even more bettors, like championship games or major matchups? My tip, try betting on less popular sports. You might have a better shot at beating those odds. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
Let's do this thing. This is SportsRage. I am Gabriel Morency. It's the Wicked Wednesday Championship Week. NBA Finals going on right now. Stanley Cup Finals tomorrow night. U.S. Open, teeing off in the morning, rapidly approaching. So nothing but championships being awarded, and hopefully we can cash some tickets and feel like champions, at least for a couple of minutes. So 70-70 right now, the basketball game. 8 minutes left in the third quarter of play. It's a good one. Stakes are obviously high. Teams that win, when you're tied at 1, they win like 80% of the time. But I talk about these stats every night. It seems to me that, like, every game is always the same. Teams that win game 1 win 84% of the time. Teams that win game 2 win 78% of the time. Long story short, teams that win in a 7-game series help themselves to win the 4 games first. So I don't want to get crazy with these percentages, but it just feels big. When it's tied at 1, like, who's going to take that 2-1 lead? We saw it last night in the Stanley Cup Finals. We also saw last night the Colorado Rockies blew a late lead against the San Francisco Giants. We bring in a childhood San Francisco Giant fan. And Brady, Rockies are leading right now. It's almost automatic money just with the Rockies. Whenever they're leading, you're getting plus money. Last night, San Francisco won their 6th straight. They put 4 up in the 9th inning. They're trailing again right now. Good to see you, Brady.
Yeah, the Giants. I couldn't believe it. I was checking that score, scrolled down later at night and saw that they had come back, won it 6-5, walked them off. I mean, and I heard you say it earlier in the first segment. Is that just how bad the Rockies are, or is that, a wonderful effort by the Giants? It's certainly both, but, that doesn't happen, I don't think, unless you're as bad as the Rockies are. I think that was probably the bigger part of that result, was the fact that the Rockies are susceptible to that type of thing, because we've seen it more than once. It's not the first time they've done it this season. And I feel bad for their fan base. That team is just, we know, historically awful, probably going to lose the most games in the history of the sport. But yeah, in the meantime, Gabe, my Giants and your Dodgers might be battling out for the division before too long.
I don't feel too bad for them. They got the Denver Nuggets, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Avalanche. They do well. They do well.
Story, Colorado.
It's such a cool stadium. There's so many cool things about that.
Never won anything.
That's true. But and that team has been god awful for how long? It'd be nice if you were a baseball fan in that town. Like I say, cool ballpark, cool city. Yeah, and they're awful.
They're barely a professional team. Let's just call it out for what it is.
Right.
As a franchise, like their ownership sucks. Yeah, like their ownership sucks. Like that's just the bottom line. Buckham, the Giants are now plus 200. We're going near the top of the 6. So you've got the 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. San Francisco still have 4 at-bats, 12 outs to give, only down 2, plus 190 right now. I'm going to jump in just so it doesn't bother me when they come back.
Exactly. And Gabe, again, let's take a look at what the Blue Jays, we talked about this. They went in and swept 12 out of 14. It just keeps on getting better. They got Rodriguez with his first save. This is the hottest team in baseball right now, man. I couldn't believe the way they did it today with a spot starter too. Unbelievable stuff. And they traveled well. Lots of Jays fans in St. Louis. I'll tell you something, man. This team is, I don't know what's going on. Everybody is on fire. It's just absolutely great to watch. But the Yankees keep on winning too. So a nice little battle in the AL East. I agree. Good price on the Giants right now if you want to jump in.
I just got the Giants
only
at plus
3.5 back of the
175.
Yankees.
Exactly.
Yeah. And they have a weekend series coming up in a couple of weeks in Toronto, actually. Canada Day weekend. The 4th of July in the U.S. is July 1st is Canada Day. And the Blue Jays always play. They always play on that day, that weekend, that week or whatnot. It's a national holiday. And there's been some real classics over the years. Who's the big guy? Who's the big guy on the Expos? Jeff, was it Junkins? What was his name? He went head-to-head with Roger Clemens. It was no hitters in the 8th inning on Canada Day.
I remember
it was
that
a classic.
Game.
Expos versus Blue Jays. Right. There's been some classics over the years. I remember once, though, I saw the Red Sox beat the Blue Jays on Canada Day 14-2 or something. I left in the 5th inning. I spent $200 in 5 innings. I was like, God, this stadium is expensive and this team sucks. I'm leaving. I was like, I'm not watching this. I lost my bet. But this basketball game right now, guys, just a quick update. It's in-game totals up to 239.5. So we took that 235.5 at the half. 79-76 for the Pacers. It's 16-15 in the second half. Halfway through the quarter. So they put up 31 combined. So the pace is continuing at a pretty brisk pace here. We're coming up against the break in 2 minutes. But Brady, any quick thoughts on the NBA Finals and/or Stanley Cup Finals tomorrow, going into a pivotal Game 4 with the Oilers down 2-1?
I'm not so sure about the NBA Finals. I think from the get-go, we felt that Indiana would win one game and maybe two. Maybe this will be win number 2 for Indiana, but I do believe the Thunder will win the series. The hockey final scares me a little bit, but Gabe, I feel pretty good about Edmonton winning tomorrow. I think they go back to Edmonton tied at 2 games apiece, and the complex or the picture about this series changes completely with an Edmonton win on Thursday night, because it looked like, Florida was absolutely dominant. Draisaitl and McDavid didn't even appear to show up, on Tuesday or whatever it was. And now I think there's probably a perception that things are inflated a little bit on the Florida side. Not so fast. I always expected that they were going to split in Florida, just like they split in Edmonton. I think we'll go back to Edmonton tied at 2 games apiece.
Yeah, there's one thing, I'll tell you what, and I'm sure Cam will agree tomorrow, and I advise everybody, take Connor McDavid and both Leon Draisaitl to, score tomorrow. These guys are, possessed. And we talked about the extra couple of days just to let them, get more angry about it. Connor McDavid didn't do the guarantee today, but he just said, we haven't played our best hockey, but I promise you, it's coming. And he had fire in his eyes. And he's just been sitting in a hotel room for the last 48 hours, just thinking about how poorly he played in game 3. He's going to freaking bring it tomorrow.
Guess what, golfers? Vegas isn't just casinos and pool parties. In fact, there are 50 golf courses within a 15-mile radius of the Strip, all boasting beautiful desert oasis landscapes. So, if you're looking for a break from the action, consider hitting the links. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
No one is going to pick Indiana. No one's going to pick Indiana to make it close, honestly. You could get tremendous odds if you pick OKC in 7.
I think that taking the series over 5.5 games, the last 2 NBA Finals series ended in 5. I think this one goes 6. I think the Thunder will get the job done, but I think the Pacers are just too strong of a team and too talented of a team and too deep of a team to lose in 5 or fewer games.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decision that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
Well, people were concerned, at least the media types, about the market sizes and the cities and the teams and the so-called lack of star players in the NBA Finals. But the basketball games, I mean, Sunday was a blowout, but we had the dramatic game 1. This game is super close. Very dramatic stuff going on in Indianapolis right now. We'll keep our eye on this. 81-79. About a little under 4 minutes remaining in the third quarter of play. But, of course, it is U.S. Open week. And not to mention, I mentioned Championship week. Formula One, the Canadian Grand Prix this week is in Montreal as well. But let's hit the U.S. Open right now. So these are the odds. They obviously move a little bit, but Scotty Scheffler plus 290 right now. Bryson DeChambeau plus 775. Rory is down to 15-1. I know he's a little higher, but I'm seeing 15s right now. John Rahm 13-1 right now. Xander 22. Colin Morikawa 27. They got the numbers all over the place here. Ludwig down to 17. Wow. A lot of steam on Ludwig right now. Yeah. This is Bet365. They got 17-1 right now. They're kind of a stingy golf book, as Cam would know. Like, they don't give money. They're a sharp golf book, Brady.
They're really
sharp.
cheap.
Let's just call it out what it is. They're sharp.
Not just
we
sharp.
talk about a Cam with their matchups. They always put everyone together. They're like, screw you. We're not giving you a matchup. It's always a tough matchup. Like,
I know. I'm like, I like that guy. Oh, he's against my second favorite, my third against my fourth. Right. These guys know but
I used to know a guy that was a big-time employee at this place, and he told me point blank that you can make money using Bet365's golf and tennis lines as angles to win with other books.
It's a good point.
You know what I mean, Brady? Like how people use Pinnacle, and compare the number. Like, Bet365 is a public book, but they have always been sharp. They're British, bro. Like, they're into golf.
They're getting stingier, though, Gabe. They know more people.
They've always been good with golf.
Like, it's crazy, though. Like Brady and these guys, we do a golf preview show. Oberg was like at one point like 32, 35 to 17. Like, I see.
Well, it's a good conversation. I'll ask you guys.
Yeah.
You guys bet more golf than me. I'm not really searching for golf odds, but what are the better golf books, Brady, in your opinion? And we'll get Cam's take after.
Well, I think FanDuel is a great book as far as offerings. It's got a tremendous menu. Out here in Las Vegas, we don't have access to FanDuel. I have Circa Sports and I have the Westgate Superbook. They're both very good.
Circa's good for everybody, but Westgate, you're right. Sherman's like the king of golf in Vegas, right? Like Westgate's the
Jeff
place,
Sherman's outstanding. Yeah, and he and I are on a couple of the same plays this week. The South Point, where Jimmy Vaccaro and Chris Andrews, those guys, they put up the matchups that we see universally. So that's kind of the book that I use for my matchups. You'll see that offshore. You'll see that, it's kind of like the Don Best screen matchups, if you will. Now, maybe Bet365 makes their own. I know Sherman makes his own over at Westgate. Circa makes their own. William Hill has different. MGM has different matchups. But I typically just go to the universal list, and I have found that is kind of the best list where I can find the most edges.
I remember years ago, this is a while ago, this is like 15 years ago or so, but me and a buddy were in the M in Vegas. And, they take big bets there and stuff. And they had in those days, they had a selective. Yeah, exactly. So they had a selective UFC card, right? There was a bunch of fights. And me and my buddy walked in. It wasn't that much money. We wanted to bet like $2 a fight type of deal. And they were like, whoa, hey, okay, hold on. And then we were like, what about the prelims? And they didn't have them, but they wanted to be cool because my buddy went there all the time. And they were like, no, well, we'll get the bet in. But I'll never forget, you'll have to, Cam. I heard the guy, he goes, but dude, we the boss. We don't have lines. He goes, just effing copy bet Chris. That's what he said. This isn't Vegas, guys. I started cracking up. He goes, I can hear them sort of talking. He goes, just effing copy bet Chris and leave me alone. I'm going back to the office. Like, went back, you know what I mean? Like, it was too good. Yeah, that's great. So, when you said about, you know what I mean? Like, there is copy and paste stuff going on, and I believe that people are looking at Vaccaro's matchups and copy and pasting them, right? I mean, it's the way the market goes. All right, so we'll get on the other side. Speaking of the markets, we always find out for every week who are the hottest tickets, the biggest liabilities, and then we'll get to the X's and O's of this golf course that's supposedly going to torture these players. Supposedly like a viciously tough challenge in store for them. I hope so. I've got a couple of guys that I'm going to ask our guys about, but I look forward to their picks. And we got a lot of people in our chat tonight looking forward to all the market plays and the specialty plays. And, Cam's going to have the top international, top senior, top lefty.
I got a few.
Guess what, golfers? Vegas isn't just casinos and pool parties. In fact, there are 50 golf courses within a 15-mile radius of the Strip, all boasting beautiful desert oasis landscapes. So, if you're looking for a break from the action, consider hitting the links. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
No one is going to pick Indiana. No one's going to pick Indiana to make it close, honestly. Like, you can't really, you could get tremendous odds if you pick OKC in 7.
I think that taking the series over 5.5 games, the last 2 NBA Finals series ended in 5. I think this one goes 6. I think the Thunder will get the job done, but I think the Pacers are just too strong of a team and too talented of a team and too deep of a team to lose in 5 or fewer games.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. I'm Morency. Brady Cannon in the house with us. Cam Stewart. I'm Gabriel Morency. Paul Bovey will join us tomorrow. He's watching the game right now, and we figured we'll break it down after the game, mid-series. So we got a little bit more extra time with Brady. Get to the picks. I'm sure there's a lot of picks to get to. Brady, who's the most bet players at MGM we always talk about in Vegas as well? The biggest liabilities, most bet players. I got to believe Scheffler's at the top of the list.
Yeah, you are spot on with that. And that is not just BetMGM in Las Vegas. This is nationwide here. As far as the outright winner of the tournament, the leaders in ticket count are Scheffler number 1, Bryson number 2, Rory number 3. As far as liability, Scotty number 1, Bryson number 2, Colin Morikawa number 3. Okay, top 20 finish. To finish top 20, number 1 in ticket count, Harris English. Number 2, Sepp Straka. Number 3, Shane Lowry.
Wow. That's sharp with Harris English.
You know,
I like Harris English. I'm taking him to win. I'm taking him to win. He's going to be one of my players to win.
No, and I think there's both recreational and sharp players on Harris English. Everybody discovered him last month when he finished second at the PGA Championship. Those are also the 3 biggest liabilities in the top 20 finish market, English, Straka, and Lowry. And then first round leader. Go ahead.
Crazy to me, I was going to say, crazy to me, guys, that Xander, Cam, wouldn't also be a top 20 top guy. I mean, that's all the guy does, bro.
I actually think he's in the top 5 on the list.
Yeah,
I think he's in the top 5. If you go a little deeper.
He's been a little bit loose with that driver, right, Brady? And actually, you're getting a good price for Xander. He's regularly like 16, Gabe. You're seeing 22s out there. The public are kind of like, like Rahm. A lot of people are maybe talking about Rahm maybe on a comeback right now. And the fact that Aberg's been bent down that much is kind of shocking, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I only went with the top 3 here, but I believe Xander is in the top 5 bets for top 20 finish. First round leader, highest ticket count, Scotty, Shane Lowry, Bryson. Biggest liability, Shane Lowry is the biggest liability to be first round leader. Justin Rose, the second biggest liability, first round leader at the Masters. And then this one will knock your GM. Goddard up. Huh? That's a new one.
I had Chris Goddard up last week at the Canadian Open. I'm like, what? Goddard up first round leader? Goddard up and put him down. That's crazy, Brady. Like, I don't even know. Like, that's That's got to be a consortium play. That's weird. Is he? I think he's
most
frozen.
tickets.
You know what's crazy?
If
you can, Brady, just refresh if you can, Brady, for a second. You're just cutting in and out. My pick, as he actually said, their biggest liability. I was going to say, you know what, Shane Lowry, you guys talked about it, but he seems to start off strong, Cam, and he fades when he realizes he can't win, like you said. He's not like a grinder. He'll just tap out and get frustrated, but that's my gut feel for first-round leader. I'll take a shot with a couple of them, but that was my guy, actually. Shane Lowry, first-round leader tomorrow.
It makes some sense because you're right. He gets off to a hot start and then he fades. I thought this one was interesting, too. The highest ticket count as far as players to make the cut. Brian Harman, number 1.
What?
Rory is number 3.
So it means he's going to miss the cut. I want to bet this now.
Right. Exactly. And here's number 2. You're going to want to bet against this one, too. This is total narrative street here. Number 2 in ticket count to make the cut, Phil Mickelson. Because everybody thinks it's going to be his last. It's going to be his last U.S. Open, so he's going to flip a switch and play like the lefty 20 years ago. No, I don't think so. I think
Do
Mickelson
people remember the last time Phil played in a major? We had a matchup bet, and Richard Bland beat him by 14 strokes. Just saying.
Yeah, you're
Richard
right.
Bland, like, come on now. Like, you think Phil could like pull a magic switch? But the thing about Lowry,
so you guys
Gabe,
say,
and
so
Brady
you
will
both
tell
say,
you.
so hold on, but you both say that Phil will not make the cut.
I don't think
right.
he will.
That's what I believe. No, Phil might shoot 80 one day.
I'm looking for the odds here right now. I'm scrolling to the bottom.
That'd be a fun bet. Under or over 79 and a half.
Oh, here he is.
Yes.
Minus 188. No, that's what I find
Correct.
for the odds.
Yeah,
Minus
I figured
188.
he'd be
No.
a favorite to miss it. Yeah, for sure.
Plus 137 to make the cut. Harman, you mentioned Harman's the big one. Just a couple of let me throw this at you guys. Because we see it all the time, man. We saw it in the last freaking tournament. There was some big time players that didn't make the cut. So I'll start with you, Brady. Who's a couple of top type guys that wouldn't shock you if they didn't make the cut? Scheffler's plus 900, no. Bryson's plus 450. John Rahm's plus 333. Ludwig's plus 275 not to make the cut. Rory is plus 250. Xander's plus 250. Neiman's plus 250. So those are some of the bigger players. Any sort of big player, Brady, you think, who's the one big player do you think has a chance to implode this weekend?
Well, I'll tell you what, I made 2 bets. One of them is actually a favorite, minus money to miss the cut, and that's Wyndham Clark. I laid minus 120 for Clark to miss the cut. The other one's a pretty good-sized dog, one of those big players that you did not mention. He's a little better than 2-1, I believe, at some shops. I got him at 2-1 plus 200 to miss the cut on Justin Thomas. This guy is really wayward off the tee. He's 121st on tour in driving accuracy, 94th in strokes gained off the tee. We know he's a brilliant iron player. We know he's a great scrambler. He has trouble putting the greens at Augusta. The undulations and the speed, that's a lot of what you're going to find here. I think he's going to have trouble with these greens and trouble off the tee. That's not a good combination at Oakmont.
Who do you think, Cam, out of the big name players that could implode? And if you had to bet one bigger name not to make the cut, Jordan Spieth plus 162.
Interesting.
Yeah, not to make the cut. But which one of a bigger golf player here do you think could not make it?
I like Brady's pick of Thomas, and to be honest with you, Gabe, I would actually take a flyer with Rory. His driver's so wayward right now. I have matchup bets, Rahm versus him, and Lowry plus 130 in the Battle of the Irish Golfers. I think that's a great price for Lowry against McIlroy. McIlroy's all over the place. If you spray it here, you're dead. I think he's worth it. I had him to miss the cut at the Canadian Open. I'll do it again this week.
His head is still in Butler Cabin, Cam. He hasn't left the Masters yet, and it might be a while before he does. And I'm not going to blame him. Hey, if I won the career Grand Slam in the green jacket, no problem. You can do whatever you want the rest of your life. But absolutely. But I don't think he's ready to win a major for a little bit, and may never again.
I think he needs like an off season or two. He needs to suck, and so he needs to get the fire back again. He needs to sort of, I agree with that. Let me ask you about a player though that's, been coming on, been playing some good golf. I saw him on the Smiley Kaufman show. Ben Griffin. He's minus 175 to make the cut, plus 125 not to make the cut. What do you think about Ben Griffin's chances to make the cut, Brady?
I think he's probably got a pretty good chance. I think he's a very U.S. Open type player. Drives it straight, good iron player, good putter, has those characteristics, has that profile. But I tell you what, I did go against Ben Griffin in a head-to-head matchup. I took Russell Henley at even money as an underdog. Russell Henley, an underdog to Ben Griffin. Griffin was about like minus 120, minus 125 over Russell Henley. I said, wait a minute. All of a sudden, Griffin's now better than Russell Henley. He won his first tournament ever in a team event in New Orleans. Then he won at Colonial, and now all of a sudden, this guy's rolling into the U.S. Open like he's Scotty Scheffler? No, pardon me. I'll take Russell Henley, a very accomplished, experienced U.S. Open player, over Ben Griffin.
I'll ask you, Cam, here. A player that we always generally people have talked about in the past, whenever the majors would pop up, but you don't do it for a couple of times and people forget you, Cam. Brooks Koepka, down to minus 160. He's minus 160. No one's talking about him coming into this tournament. Minus 160.
I don't want to talk about him.
Cut. He
Brooks
might
Koepka.
blow up. It wouldn't be shocking if he blew up, right? Plus 120 not to make the cut.
Well, digit figures to win this thing.
Yeah. I don't like Brooks Koepka. Yeah, he's lost his game, in my opinion, Gabe. I'm not betting him. I'd fade him.
What do you think, Brady, about Brooks now?
I tried him at the Masters. He had a blow up on the final hole to miss the cut, and it seems like that's kind of sent him on a downward spiral. I don't know if he's coming back for a minute either.
All right, Brady's picks on the other side. Cam's picks as well. Let's roll.
Guess what, golfers? Vegas isn't just casinos and pool parties. In fact, there are 50 golf courses within a 15-mile radius of the Strip, all boasting beautiful desert oasis landscapes. So, if you're looking for a break from the action, consider hitting the links. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
No one is going to pick Indiana. No one's going to pick Indiana to make it close, honestly. Like, you could get tremendous odds if you pick OKC in 7.
I think that taking the series over 5.5 games, the last 2 NBA Finals series ended in 5. I think this one goes 6. I think the Thunder will get the job done, but I think the Pacers are just too strong of a team and too talented of a team and too deep of a team to lose in 5 or fewer games.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
All right, here's a little gambling 101 for everybody here right now. So we're looking at somebody's odds boost. And so Bet365, top 10 finishes, top 10 finishes, 3 players. Scotty Scheffler, Rory McIlroy, Bryson. All right, Scheffler, the guy can freaking win. Bryson is finishing the top 7 in like the last 6 of the 7 majors that he's been in. Even though he's in LIV, he still kills it here in America. But we don't want Rory. So it's like, yeah, you're trying to screw us. You're putting Rory in here. That's the trap. So it's like, let's just same game parlay. You can put the parlay together, however you want to call it, and just parlay that. You know, Scheffler and Bryson both to be in the top 10. Here's the other one, Team LIV. top 10 finish. John Rahm, Brooks Koepka, Bryson DeChambeau, 30-1. All right, nice odds, but we were just talking about how we think Brooks Koepka could blow up. So why not just parlay, Cam? John Rahm top 10 and Bryson top 10 and get some nice odds. I'll put it together now.
When you
they're trying to scare
that,
us away from these.
Yes.
But I'm like, all right, let's take the loser out and still win it.
Yes.
Yeah.
When you said that, a little thing in my brain clicked and go, that's exactly right, Gabe. We're going to parlay these guys and leave the loser out. And I love what we're doing. We'll get plus money with these things. I couldn't agree more. We know playing at this book, 2 to 3 happens every single time. And you get roped in by one guy. We just got to pick the right guy who's not going to do it. Happens every week.
Yeah. Very good. I love the pivot there. It's like that multiple choice question, and you can just pinpoint the stinker, eliminate the stinker, and parlay the other ones, you know?
Yep.
Yeah, it's like, and how many people, like, it's a trap, so just don't do it. That's the whole thing. Like, it's the old saying, like, sometimes the books are letting you know what to bet by what they don't want you to bet. Yeah. By what they don't want you to bet. You have to, some people would be, I don't know what you're talking about, but like, we're trying to explain, like, if they're scared of something, that's why they're putting the weird one in there all the time to throw it off. I'll never forget, and sportsbooks would have liked this, but I'll never forget when I was at FanDuel all the time doing the show out of there in the early days when they just opened at MetLife. And every day they'd have like a home run odds boost and all this. And like, I remember the manager guy goes, these things never win. He started laughing as people were lining up to play Aaron Judge to hit home run. He was like, these things never win. The way I was just like, it was just funny. People, buddy, you get the boost. Even I get suckered in sometimes. You see what a boost. All right, I'm going to get the numbers for this, actually, for the top finishes. But, Brady, what are your picks? What do you got for us?
Yeah, let me just run it down here. I started with John Rahm at 14-1, took Patrick Cantlay at 46-1. Tommy Fleetwood I got way back in January at 50-1. I still don't mind 40. It's still out there. Sepp Straka I got at 66-1. Russell Henley at 70. Denny McCarthy at 150 and Harris English at 150. He's now down to maybe even below 100. But every single one of my guys, obviously I've got a mixed bag there as far as the prices, but they're all prototypical U.S. Open type players. Rahm's won one before. Cantlay and English have never missed a cut in 9 tries at a U.S. Open. Harris English has multiple top 5, top 10 finishes. Henley finished 7th last year at Pinehurst, led for 3 of the 4 rounds at Torrey Pines in 2021. All these guys drive it straight, great iron play, short game. Again, it's just that profile that they fit that I think you're going to need this week. I mentioned the 2 guys I bet to miss the cut, Wyndham Clark at -120, Justin Thomas at 2-1. I mentioned the matchup, Russell Henley at even money to beat Ben Griffin. Also took Patrick Cantlay at even money to beat Ludwig Oberg, and John Rahm at -135. I've seen this price skyrocket all the way up to -155 to beat Rory McIlroy. And then first round leader as well. Played 4 of my outrights, John Rahm, Denny McCarthy, Russell Henley, and Sepp Straka, and then added a Canadian for you boys who gets out to some hot starts and majors now and then. Corey Connors, first round leader at 60-1.
Cam, what do you think of Brady's picks?
I love his picks. I have a few of the same guys, Brady. I think Patrick Cantlay, people can look at this guy and go, is he in perfect form? No. But to Brady's point, all he does is finish top 15 in these events, and he has a perfect mindset. He doesn't flip out.
Yep.
That's the one thing I worry about with John Rahm, and I love John Rahm for a top 10. One of my buddies found him at +130. I only got +110 for a top 10. But Gabe, Rahm is a very volatile guy. He's emotional like me. You know what I mean? Like, he'll take a triple bogey.
Things go bad, right?
Yeah, that's the whole thing. It's like, dude, relax. It's a U.S. Open. Some guys
Cantlay's just a robot. He's boring. He's exactly what you want out of a U.S. Open player. Just boring,
Harris
make pars,
English is
and
the
move
same
on.
way. All those guys, you want the temperament of them. It's cool. A bogey's fine, and a bogey will be fine on a lot of these holes. Just don't take big numbers out of the picture. That's why Scheffler's so good. He minimizes damage. So I think Cantlay at 46-1, he's in my outrights too, Gabe. And Tommy Fleetwood, despite not closing the door, this course offers a lot of value with him because he drives the ball straight, his wedges. It's all about that damn putter. Can he have 4 days of decent putting? And Tommy Fleetwood could actually win the U.S. Open. I like him better in this major than a lot of the other events.
It's been his best major. He's finished. Go ahead.
101-98. 101-98 with 6:40 left in the game. Pacers are up a 3 spot. It's that
I need
close.
the Pacers. Oh, Gabe, we could close that bet out tonight with the Pacers spread. Oh boy,
yeah, it'd be
that
good
would
if
be
they
amazing.
could do it.
Oh,
yeah,
boy,
it's going to be a
U.S.
Could be a
Open
nice
has been
classic
Tommy
finish.
Fleetwood's best major, Cam, to your point, and I like him here because of that way he plays. You know, straight down the middle of the fairway, hit the greens in regulation. Yeah, that's what he does. Yeah, he could absolutely get his first PGA Tour win here. And it's interesting you also bring up about avoiding trouble and Patrick Cantlay just being a robot and bogeys don't faze him. Dustin Johnson in 2016 did not make the most birdies to win this event. He made the fewest amount of bogeys. That's key. I think he only made like 4 or 5 bogeys and maybe 1 double. You got to minimize the damage. That's what's going to get you to the winner's circle.
Let me see quick exotic props before we get you out of here. Brady,
winning
like
score.
Winning score, winning margin, hole in one. What do you got for us? Some of the exotics.
I went under on the winning score, 278.5, which is 1.5 under par. I think they're going to eclipse that. I think 3 or 4 under wins this thing. You've got some soft conditions. And by the way, if you haven't noticed, these guys are really good. I think you're going to have a handful of guys go low. 3 or 4 under par wins it, in my opinion.
Agreed.
Under 278 is plus 115. 278 to 281 inclusive is plus 200. Over 281 is plus 240.
Guess what, golfers? Vegas isn't just casinos and pool parties. In fact, there are 50 golf courses within a 15-mile radius of the Strip, all boasting beautiful desert oasis landscapes. So, if you're looking for a break from the action, consider hitting the links. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
No one is going to pick Indiana. No one's going to pick Indiana to make it close, honestly. Like, you can't really, you could get tremendous odds if you pick OKC in 7.
I think that taking the series over 5.5 games, the last 2 NBA Finals series ended in 5. I think this one goes 6. I think the Thunder will get the job done, but I think the Pacers are just too strong of a team and too talented of a team and too deep of a team to lose in 5 or fewer games.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage, 101-98, 6:10 left in the basketball game. We got a great one going on here. Hopefully we can pull out the outright W so we can cash that ticket plus 2.5. And hopefully this doesn't slow down too much because our over 235.5 is in peril right now. It's at 230.5 in game right now, 101-100, 5.5 minutes left. It's starting to tighten up, obviously, being as close as it is. And that the actual total itself, 226, still kind of in question if it slows down. But Pacers just responded with a quick bucket, 103-100. 230.5 still is the total right now. So looking at the top golfer by category here. Top live golfer, Bryson is plus 162. John Rahm is plus 250. Joaquin Niemann is plus 500. Hatton is 10-1. Brooks Koepka's 12-1. There's no value taking Bryson here. There's no value really with Rahm. All these people always talk about how good Niemann is, so maybe you could make the argument that Niemann at plus 500 is the bet, but Bryson's actually going to be the top live guy, probably.
I agree, Gabe. And if you want to bet Niemann, what I said to Brady before, guys, this line might go up to Niemann, top South American. He literally has to beat only a few guys, and his biggest threat is Emiliano Grillo, who Niemann is much better. Niemann now a top 10 player in the world rankings. It's minus 135 on Bet365, Gabe. It'll probably be $1.50 or $1.60 by tomorrow because it's a good price. And literally, I only think one or two guys can beat him. That's the one I would do. And I like top Scandinavian Aberg. All he has to do is beat a bunch of Danes, and his biggest threat is Thorbjorn Olesen. So he's plus 180, top Scandinavia, which includes Sweden and Denmark.
Top Canadian odds are Corey Connors plus 160, Taylor Pendrith plus 230, Nick Taylor plus 333, Mackenzie Hughes plus 375. We just heard Brady Cannon say that he's taking a flyer on Corey Connors in the first round. I think so. Maybe Corey Connors could get off to a hot start here. Who do you think is going to be the top Canadian at the end of the weekend?
Tough one, Gabe. It's either going to be Connors or Nick Taylor, in my opinion. I'm not sure Pendrith. A lot of people like him, but Nick Taylor's so consistent. And the one thing that Taylor does is hit the ball straight, but so does Connors. Connors really shows up in big events, been very good at the Masters the last couple times. We'll see how he plays in the U.S. Open, but Brady's a great capper, and I agree. Connors for probably top 5 and first-round leader looks good to me. I would go with Connors, but Nick Taylor's dangerous.
All right, I see they have top Mexican golfer. Carlos Ortiz is plus 110. Roberto Diaz is plus 500. Alvaro Ortiz. So you got to be careful with your Ortizes here. It's like Kim's with the female golf. Ortiz plus 300. And Emilio Gonzalez plus 300. What do you think about the top Mexican player?
I like the first Ortiz, Gabe, but plus, I think that's actually a very good bet because he only has to beat a couple of guys. And be very careful with the Danish markets, too. There's a lot of Højgaards and a Neergaard and a Norgaard. Gabe, you have a couple glasses of wine. You might click the wrong one. So that's why I just went with Aberg, top Scandinavia. And I'm not even screwing around with Denmark. But if I were to take top Dane, it would be Thorbjorn Olesen at plus 260.
Top Korean, Siwoo Kim, plus 210. Sungjae is plus 210. Byung An plus 320. Tom Kim plus 320. Who do you think is the top Korean?
Tough market. Know what I'd actually take a flyer on who played great at the Canadian Open? Top 3, Ben On. And what did you say, Gabe? He was over 3-1? I like that play.
Yeah.
Carver likes him too, and he's hot.
Top senior, there's only 3 of them. Phil Mickelson plus 105. Richard Bland minus 125. And Cam gave us Bland in another tournament, and he smoked him. And Justin Hicks plus 1,400. What do you think about the? Do you think will Bland beat Mickelson again? He's the favorite, minus 125.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't mind laying 25 cents with Dick Bland. The guy's been playing great on live, and he's one of those guys understated. He doesn't hit it very far, but the problem with Phil is he'll spray it everywhere. Phil might shoot 80 tomorrow, so I'd take Dick Bland minus 125.
Top Australian Ryan Fox plus 375. Jason Day plus 400. Minwoo Lee is plus 400. Adam Scott plus 475. Cameron Smith plus 500. Mark Leishman plus 650. Cam Davis plus 900. What do you think about the top Australian?
That Australian market is tough, man. You can make a case for every guy
Australian
there.
Asian, as they call it. What it's like the dynamic,
Australasia?
Right? Yeah, sorry. Yeah. It's the...
That's a big one.
Because my bad. Australia, it's Australians, Jason Day, Minwoo Lee, Adam Scott, Cameron Smith, Mark Leishman, Cam Davis.
Tough one. I'd probably go, actually, I might even take a shot with Leishman, as crazy as that sounds. People think he's gone, but he plays on the Live Tour. What is he, 6-1? Sprinkle.
Yeah, Leishman plus 500. Right now, top Brit, Rory plus 200, Fleetwood plus 425, Hatton 7-1. There's where the value is.
Guess what, golfers? Vegas isn't just casinos and pool parties. In fact, there are 50 golf courses within a 15-mile radius of the Strip, all boasting beautiful desert oasis landscapes. So, if you're looking for a break from the action, consider hitting the links. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
No one is going to pick Indiana. No one's going to pick Indiana to make it close, honestly. Like, you can't really, you could get tremendous odds if you pick OKC in 7.
I think that taking the series over 5.5 games, the last 2 NBA Finals series ended in 5. I think this one goes 6. I think the Thunder will get the job done, but I think the Pacers are just too strong of a team and too talented of a team and too deep of a team to lose in 5 or fewer games.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
Level 2 has begun, and we got a game going on here right now, guys. So the Pacers got up 110-102, and that's what the score is right now. But they had the basketball, but Caruso stole the ball, was going down the court. I was thinking, you know what, you should pass the ball, bro. And he should have passed it, and this wouldn't have happened, but it might help them, actually. He got, like, murdered going up, like, trying to slam it. And I'm all for old school basketball, and I do think it's wussified, and they do call, like, you know, we're like, what are we looking at here, guys, for a flagrant? Like, it's just a foul. That is the definition of a flagrant foul. I'm not saying to kick him out of the game or anything. It's just a flagrant foul, whatever, dude. It's like a yellow card. You know what I mean? But he wasn't playing the ball. Look at this, Cam. Like, you see the replay. Like, he basically... He grabbed his arms. He jumped on his back. He landed hard.
Like he grabbed his groin. Like he said, Caruso's lucky.
Like,
it's not like broken. Yeah.
Yeah. Like that's you know, it's not the end of the world. Like I said, like I'm not crying about it. I'm just stating that that's a flagrant foul, in my opinion. I also have the over, so I want the free throws. So I'm like, as a bettor, I'm like the coach. I'm like, hey, we're getting a free throw out of this at possession,
it is a
right?
flagrant. You know me, Gabe.
On top of the two, though. Like, if I'm Oklahoma City, though, you think about it, though, Cam, you get the 2 free throws for the he was going up. You get the extra free throw, so that's 3 points, and then you get a possession. This is a big call coming up here right now. This could be the big swing of the game right now. Like, the Pacers could potentially get 6 points out of this, or we'll see what happens. I got the sound down, but I can tell by the reaction of the fans that they're calling a flagrant. Yeah.
They have to. And I'm an old school guy. I'm like a caveman. I love body contact and the nasty boys and stuff, but you said it. It's a flagrant, definitely. I'm not complaining.
All right, let's bring in Jesse Sewell right now. Jesse's all over the Pacers in the series. And it's got a nice bet. He took the Pacers to win game 1 and the series combination, and it turns into an 11-1 ticket. So you're sitting in a nice spot right now, and you'd be in an even better spot if they're able to win this game tonight because the odds will drastically change, Jesse.
Yeah, I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I can tell you, if you bet against the Thunder, you're not making any friends on Twitter and on YouTube. All the young guys coming in, calling me an old head and telling me, didn't you watch the first 2 games, they say? I was like, yeah, but the first 2 games were in Oklahoma City, guys.
And it does make a big difference. One thing with the Thunder, they're 4-3 on the road, which isn't bad. You know, when you have home court in every series, you can win series by splitting on the road for the most part. So they're 4-3 on the road, but they're not a dominant road team, Oklahoma City, Jesse. That's, you know what I mean? We've seen this pattern through the playoffs, with the exception of Memphis, who sucked, right? Like they'd get blown out in one game on the road and win the other one on the road, and then go back home and smoke you. But listen, I thought the Pacers could give them all they can handle. Me and Cam were both on the Pacers plus 2.5 in the series. I thought the plus 500 was nice. I thought this series really did have the potential to go like 7 games, even after the last game. But it's sort of like the Stanley Cup Finals, Jesse. You know, one blowout win, and everybody's given up on Edmonton now already. Mm-hmm. Right? And, you know, we still have another game coming up right now, but we got a game going on here still. Now we got a big possession about who's going to get the ball. So there's going to be some drama here. 110-104. 110-104 with under 2 minutes now. So it's getting to be crunch time. And now the total's 225.5. This is disappointing. It's going to be good news, bad news if the Pacers win for me, Cam, but I really want to get this 226 home.
I think a lot of people people were on, and it looked like it was flying over, but this is the problem when you get a tight game. These possessions mean everything, and they milk clock, Gabe. You want kind of, in these type of situations, you need a team to pull away, and we got a tight basketball game right now. Let's hope some 3 balls could still help you out, or you need overtime, but I don't know how that's going to end for all of us, so we can't have it all.
This total is hitting the wall because Oklahoma City, Jesse, they're not scoring Oklahoma City. They're the ones that have slowed this thing down here at the end. Ooh, Pacers just missed a big 3 that would have kind of buried this, but there should be a little mini flurry of activity at the end, but the clock is really ticking quickly here now. We're at $1:30, and the Thunder just keep missing their shots. And I brought this up, guys, about the Thunder. They're really good. We know this. But one thing with the Thunder is they're like a college basketball team. They're almost like Duke or Gonzaga or something, in the sense that they literally won every game by like 26 points this year. Like, they have one of the largest margins of victory ever. Like, they smoke teams all the time. And, Jesse, you see this in sports. A lot of these teams that are bullies and blow teams out all the time, they're not used to playing in close games, right? And you see it right now with the Thunder. Like, they're really tightening up in the last couple of minutes here.
Well, especially when they're young, too, and they don't have the experience. They don't have the championship rings. They don't have the better coach. There's a lot of things that I like about this Pacers team. And, you know, like I said, you put this information out there on the internet, you put that opinion out, a lot of people will attack it. But, you know, we've seen this, guys our age especially. You've been around for long enough. You've seen big upsets take place in sports. I remember the LA Kings in 2010 were down 3-0 to the San Jose Sharks, come storming back. They won the Stanley Cup that year. I know it's a different sport, but like I said, I think you hit the nail on the head with Oklahoma City and their inexperience in tight games of this magnitude.
And there's been some big movement. This game isn't over yet, but the odds makers have already started to adjust to win the series. Prices down to minus 240 right now for the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Pacers are now only plus 190 to win the series. SGA was like a massive favorite to be the MVP. That was like minus 700, minus 750 before the series started. Minus 225 right now. Halliburton's plus 280 to win the MVP. Siakam is plus 800 right now. So the books are starting to buy in here, Jesse, that this is getting real with the Pacers getting a 2-1 lead here, or at least a minute away from it.
So what happens in Game 4 if the Pacers hold on? Are they going to make Oklahoma City a 7-point favorite on the road? And what do you do if they do that?
We're going to have no choice but to go back to the Pacers again.
Pacers.
Right? It's one of those you accept it if you lose, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what we did with Game 1 and Game 2.
That was my take for this game is I've got the Pacers on the big odds for the series. Should I hedge or should I double down? And when you, like you said, they don't leave you much of a choice. When they put odds like that out in front of me, yeah, I'll just keep on doubling down.
And if you're the Pacers, Cam, you'll know the importance of even getting up 3-1. Like, the Pacers have been sloppy in the Game 3s, their first game back home in the playoffs, right? So the dynamic is changing with them potentially taking a 2-1 series lead here. But as we were just talking about with the Oilers and about how everybody buried the Pacers, I wouldn't bury the Thunder so fast. That's why, Cam, if we hit this plus 2.5 with the Pacers, we can readjust. Like, I'm not ready to bury the Thunder just because they lost this game tonight.
I'm not either, Gabe, but I'll tell you one thing. If the Pacers win this game tonight, everybody and their mother's going to be on Oklahoma City the next game. Oh, there's no way they could go down 3-1. Yes, there is. It's called sports. So, and you're going to give us a good enough number, Gabe? You know me. I'm going to ride that dog train all the way home.
Man, this game really might stay under the number. They're only at 117 right now. We're going to need like the Thunder. The problem is the Thunder aren't hitting shots quickly enough, and they're not fouling.
Nope.
Like I don't, this is terrible coaching at the end of this game here right now. Like you're down by 7 with 45 seconds left. Like you're better off just putting them on the free throw line and taking a couple of threes and trying to play the math game like
You're
this.
right. Like this is ridiculous.
Like look at the clock is just ticking and ticking
nuts.
and ticking. It really is bad coaching, Cam. There's 30,
It's
like
more than
seriously. Like, you know what I mean? Like all you have is time on your side here. Like just freaking put them on the line. Hope that they miss one, take a 3, rinse and repeat, and do it over. All you're doing is letting them kill the clock.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
Two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What?
How do you do this once?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Did you know sportsbooks tend to draw up tighter bet lines for events that get even more bettors, like championship games or major matchups? My tip, try betting on less popular sports. You might have a better shot at beating those odds. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
The Oklahoma City Thunder are going to kill the total here, guys. They keep missing free throws, and things are so bad. They just bricked a free throw, and SGA wasn't the one taking it, but he tried to, just bounce it in off the glass after the missed free throw, and then he missed the putback, in between free throws. Wasn't a real shot, and he missed that. And they don't foul. Oklahoma City are not fouling. You're down 7 right now with 17 seconds left. And they're not fouling. Don't tell me you're just going to give up on the game. They're not fouling. They literally are not fouling. Siakam says, well, you're not going to foul me, I'll score. He takes it to the rack, and I'm going to lose the total. I need them to hit this garbage 3 right now. and they turn it over. Screw me. It's 116-107. If Oklahoma City decides to shoot this ball, which they probably won't because they're going to lose, and they've seemingly quit in the last seconds here, he tosses it up. It hits the front of the rim, and the game stays under. Wow. 116-107 final score. They get to 223. Pacers, though. Pacers win the game outright, plus 185 on the money line. Pacers cash that bet that we all talked about. Pacers plus 2.5 games in the series. They automatically just cash that. All they had to do is win 2 games. They do it. Updated series price. Oklahoma City Thunder minus 240. Pacers plus 190. SGA minus 225 MVP. Halliburton plus 300 MVP. Siakam just went to plus 750 to be the MVP. So we got ourselves a series here, guys. And the pressure is now on the Oklahoma City Thunder. We talked about them not being good in close games, missing free throws late, not fouling, coaching mistakes. Like, there was a lot wrong in the last minute of that game. And I like to tell the coach of Oklahoma City to go screw themselves for costing us the over of that game. That's just bad, Cam. Like, just foul, bro. Like, they weren't fouling. Like, just foul.
It was actually, like, wrong.
And missing free throws.
Game. No, like, the whole thing was stupid. Like, you try to extend the game when you're down, and you're letting the Pacers burn, like, 15 seconds off the clock. And what the craziest thing is? Siakam's prop was 19.5. He got the 21 on that late bucket to go on.
That's crazy.
I know, I had it. Thank you.
It was funny.
I can't believe it.
They weren't fouling him, and he was like, all right. He just sort of fought through the 3 of them.
Unreal.
He laid it in. Yeah, a little step closer to the MVP plus 750 right now. So we'll get to the updated number for Game 4, which will be suddenly a pivotal Game 4. Jesse, we got a Game 4 in Sunrise, Florida tomorrow, though. NHL hockey, what do you think about the Oilers and the Panthers game tomorrow?
Yeah, I don't want to count the Oilers out, but I'm a little bit concerned about Stuart Skinner. They've lit him up the last couple games, and I know that a lot of people will say, well, you can't blame him probably, but given his history and, I think his confidence could be a little bit rattled. I kind of think Florida is going to continue to just pepper him with rubber. And I'm leaning more toward the total than the side in this one. Obviously, as a Canadian, I'd like to see Edmonton tie up the series, but that Florida team is just so damn tough. I'm probably looking at first period over. I think Florida is going to come out like gangbusters again. I'm a little bit concerned about Stuart Skinner, and Edmonton's got enough high-end talent to put the puck in the net a few times.
We've got a number, Oklahoma City Thunder, FanDuel -6. -6. Total 225.5 right now, 225.5. So we talked about what the number. They've made it so it's a half-point difference right now, Jesse. Not much of a difference. They moved it from 9 to 11 when they played at home after they lost Game 1. There were 9-point favorites in Game 1, 11-point favorites in Game 2. So there were 5.5 tonight. We see a 6 right now. This is the opening number. We'll see if it starts to move.
Yeah, well, it opened at 4.5, right? So it opened at 4.5, goes to 5.5. This one opens at 6. I expected to get to 7. I mean, just think about the public. You guys mentioned it earlier that everybody's going to think the Thunder are a lock in Game 4, right? That's going to be the public sentiment. Myself, I think the longer this series goes, the more the doubt goes to creep into to a young team that's supposed to be they're not supposed to be down 2-1 in this series. A lot could go wrong for this Thunder team, and that's part of the reason why I was betting on the Pacers before the series started.
Man, I'm so frustrated I didn't get to 226. I would have taken the push. I would have been happy with the push at that point. But, the Pacers do cash the ticket, and the series price, which is good, we'll take it. And I'm looking for it here right now. Have we been paid for it? I think, no. Okay, here, I'm on the wrong page. Looking here, too. San Francisco, Cam, are winning.
Come back?
7-6 right now.
The Colorado Rockies, you could always count on the Rockies to give it back.
I'm looking here. I'm like, oh, look, San Francisco are winning 7-6.
There you go.
I got them at plus 170 only, though. I didn't put a lot on it, but
Yeah.
And San Francisco have runners on second and third with nobody out. So they're going to add a couple of more runs here. It's like clockwork, Jesse. Like Colorado, when they're leading these baseball games and the opponent is plus money, like mid-game and stuff, you got to take the opponent just blindly. Like last night, San Francisco scored 4 runs in the ninth and came back, paid big. We left it on the table. I wasn't doing it again tonight. They were down. I was getting them at like +2. They were like +200 by the time I clicked it and accepted. It was +170. But here are the Rockies potentially blowing it again.
I did lose a big first quarter bet on tonight's game, which was kind of disappointing. I really didn't like seeing all those early whistles, with the series transitioning to Indiana, their first game back at home, all that intense crowd noise and everything, and the refs just sort of stuck a pin in it right from the beginning of the game.
Pacers always start off slow. Jesse, where can people find you online?
Wagertalk.com and Jesse Schul on Twitter.
All right, Jesse, you can go gloat about your Pacers pick online now.
Exactly. Old man wins. Shut up, everyone.
The old heads no ball.
Yeah, hey, good pick.
Hey, good stuff, Jesse. Now Reggie Miller's not doing the games. He can not pretend he's not a Pacer fan. He's got his Pacer jersey on, sitting courtside.
Exactly.
Guess what, golfers? Vegas isn't just casinos and pool parties. In fact, there are 50 golf courses within a 15-mile radius of the Strip, all boasting beautiful desert oasis landscapes. So, if you're looking for a break from the action, consider hitting the links. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
No one is going to pick Indiana. No one's going to pick Indiana to make it close, honestly. Like, you could get tremendous odds if you pick OKC in 7.
I think that taking the series over 5.5 games, the last 2 NBA Finals series ended in 5. I think this one goes 6. I think the Thunder will get the job done, but I think the Pacers are just too strong of a team and too talented of a team and too deep of a team to lose in 5 or fewer games.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decision that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. I'm Morency, Sirius XM Channel 159, SportsGrid Radio and Television Network. Thanks to Jesse Schul for joining us. We had Brady Cannon on, some great golf talk earlier. We'll recap Cam's golf picks before we're done. I'll throw some darts for you. Game 3 of the NBA Finals just came to a conclusion. 116-107 final score for the Indiana Pacers. Pacers win outright as 5.5-point underdogs, plus 185 on the money line. Now take a 2-1 series lead. Still plus 190 underdogs to win the series tonight, but a collective team effort tonight from the Pacers, and specifically the Pacers bench was the difference. Ben Mathurin former Arizona Wildcat from Montreal North. Ben Mathurin dropped 27 points tonight, 9 of 12 from the field. Very impressive game for Ben Mathurin. Obi Toppin gave them 8. McConnell gave them 10. Shepard gave them 4. Naismith gave them 7. Nembhard gave them 8. Turner 9. Siakam 21. And Halliburton 22. So it's basically Halliburton, Siakam, Mathurin, and then everybody else just sort of chipped in. And if you look at, like, Oklahoma City would have to be a little bit concerned here tonight, just because, like, if you look, like, Williams gave them 26. SGA gave them 24. Holmgren gave them 20. Everybody else was just absent here, and it sort of exposes them a little bit, Cam, that they're top-heavy, the Oklahoma City Thunder. That's the thing when you have so many good defensive players. They're not all going to be great on offense. And you saw in the last couple of minutes, like, SGA can't take every shot. Other guys were taking bad shots, missing free throws. It was sloppy, but I got to tell you, we'll be on the Pacers again in the next game, but Oklahoma City aren't done in this series. The only thing is now it looks like, Cam, in my opinion, this thing is going to go 7 games now.
Ben Mathurin outscored the whole entire Oklahoma City bench by margin. Gabe, they had literally 18. What do they got? 18 points.
Yeah,
okay?
8 from Caruso. Good call.
Yeah.
Joe 6, Hartenstein 4. So they got 18 points from the bench. Yeah, they got dominated their bench. Bench got absolutely crushed early, and it was mostly in the first half, actually, where the Pacers bench did their damage. But if you're the Pacers, you're confident right now. If you're Oklahoma City, I don't think you're rattled. But like the Oilers, they have to be a little bit concerned. Like, you know what I mean? Knowing that, all right, the next game is like, we got to win the next game now. Suddenly game 4 becomes critical, as is the hockey game tomorrow night for the Edmonton Oilers. I do like the fact that the Oilers did have time to get over the loss and sort of feel bitter about it, have more time to get angry about it. It's better to lose that way, in my opinion. Like, you lose 2-1 or something, it was heartbreaking, and it's just sort of a grind and stuff. You got smoked, you got lit up, you understand what's at stake right now. And to put it in context, guys, it's pretty crazy. The other night with all the penalty minutes, it really was one of the most penalty-filled Stanley Cup finals in NHL history. And in fact, it had the second most penalty minutes, most combined penalty minutes in a Stanley Cup final game. Calgary Flames and the Montreal Canadiens, 1986, 176 penalty minutes. Vancouver Canucks, Boston Bruins. That was a dirty one. It led to a riot in Vancouver after. 145 penalty minutes. Oilers and Panthers, 140 the other night. It was the 4th most penalty minutes in the Stanley Cup final game. The Oilers can't have that. Like, they've got to stay out of the penalty box tomorrow. But I'm looking forward to the game tomorrow night. We hit the Pacers tonight, Cam, but it's all over for the Oilers tomorrow if they don't win. Like, they need to win tomorrow. Like, and even if they win tomorrow, that series is going 7. So, looks like we could have 2 Game 7s in the Stanley Cup in the NBA this year.
I kind of agree with you. Another thing, too, Edmonton, you got to jump on Florida early. You can't afford to be down in these games and get these guys going wild again. And don't be stupid. We talked about Wallman and all these dumb penalties and stuff like that. That's the Panthers game. They're going to try to agitate you. Don't fight back. Just use your skill. And, God, get a new play on the power play, Gabe. Just let Bouchard put it at the net and get guys in front instead of trying all these, beautiful, perfect plays. Just get rubber to Bobrovsky and get guys in front. I agree with you. Draisaitl and McDavid will be a hell of a lot better in Game 4.
And we talked about the Pacers guys that bench in the first half. We see the stat here now. Pacers 30 points off the bench are the second most by a team in the first half ever in an NBA Finals game.
Wow.
So that's how good it was. The Pacers bench scored 30 points in the first half. As Cam mentioned, good point. Oklahoma City only scored 18 points all night from their bench.
Guess what, golfers? Vegas isn't just casinos and pool parties. In fact, there are 50 golf courses within a 15-mile radius of the Strip, all boasting beautiful desert oasis landscapes. So, if you're looking for a break from the action, consider hitting the links. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
No one is going to pick Indiana. No one's going to pick Indiana to make it close, honestly. Like, you can't really, you could get tremendous odds if you pick OKC in 7.
I think that taking the series over 5.5 games, the last 2 NBA Finals series ended in 5. I think this one goes 6. I think the Thunder will get the job done, but I think the Pacers are just too strong of a team and too talented of a team and too deep of a team to lose in 5 or fewer games.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. I am Morency, and the Indiana Pacers are alive right now, up 2-1 in the NBA Finals, and we've got ourselves a series here right now. I think it's going to be I think we're looking at a 7-game series right now. So we're going to cash our ticket with the Pacers plus 2.5 games in this series, and now we can sort of reset and readjust. Ian Cameron on the radar will join us in a couple of minutes. We'll get into some CFL. We got a CFL game tomorrow. And in fact, Cam, I should have known last night, all the games we talked about, all the numbers moved. And against, I was talking about like in Calgary. I like Calgary plus the 3. Suddenly it's 1.5. Let's give credit to Andrew McKinnis last night. Great call by Andrew, in which he said, guys, he said, I don't think that Drew Brown, the quarterback, and that's the whole thing with the CFL, right? It's not mainstream. So, you got to put a little work into it and pay attention to injuries and stuff like that. But the Ottawa Red Black quarterback was questionable. McKinnis knew that yesterday. He told us this last night on the show. We knew it as well, but he brought it up on the show last night. And he said, guys, right now, the Montreal Alouettes are 1-point favorites against Ottawa. He said, I don't think Drew Brown's going to play, but he said, even if Drew Brown plays, I think Montreal will beat him, but I don't think he's going to play. And then we got a better number. Speaking of which, San Francisco are beating Colorado 10-6 right now. But and we got him at plus 170. But the Ottawa Red Blacks now, the Montreal Alouettes, this number has exploded. The Montreal Alouettes are now 4-point favorites in this game. Yeah, so if you were tuning in last night, McKinnis told us, hey, this is a good bet. And Montreal -4, total 46 right now. Hell, BC went up. McKinnis called that too, actually. We'll give him credit.
Yes, he did. He called them all. I'll give McKinnis a lot of credit. If he's a line maker, he said everything would change, and everything he predicted, he says, I'm going to get Winnipeg at 3 or more. On FanDuel, they're 3.5 game. You see Montreal, that line's gone up, in the Toronto-Calgary game has switched too. The Argos are only -1.5. So, yeah, no, I give McKinnis a lot of credit. He did a good job last night.
I will tell you now that the Saskatchewan Roughriders and the Hamilton Tiger Cats. The Tiger Cats are getting 3.5 points still in this game. Total's 51. But Saskatchewan have a bunch of injuries that haven't been officially listed yet. So for those of you that pay attention like me, but that's why you tune into the show, Saskatchewan are pretty beat up coming into this football game. So I would expect this number to come down. If you like Hamilton, you're getting 3.5 right now. there should be points still in the football game. Saskatchewan will still be able to throw the football on Hamilton, and Hamilton can score. They just can't really stop anybody. Calgary and Toronto, this number's down to 1.5. It was 3. I think some people thought that Chad Kelly was going to play for the Toronto Argonauts. I never believed that. But Chad Kelly is practicing again, but Nick Arbuckle is taking the reps with the ones. It's going to be Arbuckle this week, and probably Kelly comes back in the following game. But there's been a lot of movement here. It went from Calgary getting a full 3 points to Toronto right now being -1.5. Total's 50.5 in this game, and I'm expecting points in this game as well. Toronto's offense struggled against Montreal, but Montreal have a really good defense. Toronto also dropped a bunch of passes. There was one bomb that was dropped that would have been a touchdown. Suddenly the game would have been like 22-17, right? Like the offense did start to move the ball a bit. I think it'll continue. And even though we like Calgary's offense, Calgary's defense is going to be vulnerable. So I think there's going to be points in this game. The total is 50.5 in Calgary and Hamilton. I was at the BC Lions Snoop Dogg show on Saturday. Cam is going to go see the Toronto Argonauts and the Calgary Stampeders, and I don't know, he might get the Arkells or something like that if he's lucky.
Yeah, I'll get somebody. Yeah, that's a good one, Gabe. I'm with you though. Like, and that's
the Sam Roberts band.
Yeah, Sam Roberts, great.
He's actually, I like him. He's good. He's good. But I'm just saying,
I like Sam Roberts.
But we got to admit, you got to admit though that the BC Lions smoke everybody with their entertainment.
Oh, big time.
Nobody comes close.
Hamilton gets I think they're from Steeltown.
Yeah, I think they are. What's the entertainment at the Ticats season opener, Babano, this year? Is it Soup Fest?
Not Soup Fest. Soup Fest
Hamilton.
in February. It's summertime right now, so there's no Soup Fest right now.
Soup Festival in the parking lot.
Yeah.
No,
I know if there was one, but yeah.
No, but what's the entertainment? Or do the Ticats even have entertainment?
Like,
do they have anything?
Get naked? Like you got to have a band.
It's just going to be one of these deals where they've got someone at halftime. It's a local group. It's a local band. It's not someone that's huge or overly massive by any stream.
So you don't know what you're
saying? I'm betting Arkells, Gabe. I think they're the favorite.
No, it's not
right
Arkells.
now. That's Hamilton's
Not
line. No,
Arkells.
it's not Arkells. Oh, okay. So who? That's a good question.
Arkells did the Grey Cup here.
Yes, they did.
They're not just doing a home opener. They're doing big time concert tours now.
For opening,
big time
for
now.
opening? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're not getting them just for a home opener. No way.
Snoop Dogg. I'd accept any gig, but what's the
Snoop
deal?
Dogg's a little bigger than the Arkells. Yeah, Snoop Dogg's
I would agree.
Yeah. Maybe Bob Young's got to open up the wallet like Omar Doman does out there in BC. Yeah.
Oh boy, I don't even know who the Argos are getting. Like, I have no
Did you see
idea
Darsh getting thrown under the bus by Luke Wilson? That's a disgrace. Luke Wilson should go home. Luke, you're drunk. You know nothing about the CFL. To put Darsh in Vancouver as the worst CFL fan going is an absolute disgrace. You should be ashamed, Luke Wilson.
I don't even know what the hell you're talking about. Luke Wilson, like Seattle, Detroit tight end, Luke Wilson and Darsh.
Yes, who works for TSN now, has Darsh in Vancouver as his number one worst, most annoying CFL fan. He did a list on Twitter and he put Darsh number one. I couldn't believe it. It
seems like there's a lot of trolling going on though with Luke Wilson's account today, and he's encouraging it. He wants to smack talk and stuff, but I did find it strange. Yeah, of all people, that Darsh was public enemy number one.
Here. Darsh is like, they do features on his family and stuff like that. Like it's all in the family for BC Lion fan, the Sings. Like what are you doing coming at this guy? He goes to all the games. Like he's a real good fan. Hell, he comes
ambassador
to
for the league.
Yeah.
I'm looking at. Oh, Darsh loves the CFL more than the commissioner of the CFL does.
He does.
Like he's like dedicated. This guy, he brings his kids and he's got like 6 season tickets. And so Luke Wilson, former Seattle Seahawks, Cam Seahawks, bunch of jerks.
I love it. I'm associated with Cam, a bunch of Seahawks.
Yeah, Cam's Luke Wilson.
Yeah.
I actually normally like Luke Wilson, but I don't understand. Babano, like what was Luke Wilson's deal today? I guess he did some chat today with everybody, and Like, yeah, he basically started calling out everybody, and Darsh
He made a
I
list of the
see,
most
I'm looking.
annoying, worst CFL fans, and Darsh was number one. Now, apparently, a long time ago, Luke said the CFL sucks, and Darsh came after him for that. And apparently, it kind of stems from that. But still, he's defending the CFL, a league that he loves, a league he's not going to let anybody, even a former NFL tight end, bash the league.
What the hell's going on? Crazy.
Darsh is getting defended quite a bit by the CFL community.
Your guy, I don't think for the Winnipeg guy, Andrew Patterson, he's defending Darsh too in that little exchange. Yeah.
It is strange. It's a strange tactic to take to go after. And the thing is, not just Darsh. He's gone after all these super fans of different teams, saying you all suck and stuff. I don't know. It's a weird tack to take. He likes the engage. He's trolling people, though, right? So he's trolling people, but it is still weird. Yeah, it's still a weird angle to be taken here, right?
Yeah,
it is still a weird angle.
It's coming from a Rice Owl, a very intelligent school too. Very disappointing as a Seahawk fan as well. Come on, Luke.
Especially now that Luke's on the broadcast. We're using him on some of these CFL games now this year.
He's going to be on every Friday night.
For sure.
Well, at this rate, people are going to be throwing things at him this Friday. Where are they? They're not.
Guess what, golfers? Vegas isn't just casinos and pool parties. In fact, there are 50 golf courses within a 15-mile radius of the Strip, all boasting beautiful desert oasis landscapes. So, if you're looking for a break from the action, consider hitting the links. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
No one is going to pick Indiana. No one's going to pick Indiana to make it close, honestly. Like, you could get tremendous odds if you pick OKC in 7.
I think that taking the series over 5.5 games, the last 2 NBA Finals series ended in 5. I think this one goes 6. I think the Thunder will get the job done, but I think the Pacers are just too strong of a team and too talented of a team and too deep of a team to lose in 5 or fewer games.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. I am Morency. Show's rolling on here right now. I'm just checking out. I see a lot of stuff. Twitter is blowing up. I see the Telemundo crew. Yeah, like this is going to work out, right? How do I spell Telemundo without screwing this out? Telemundo. Telemundo. Yeah, but the TV network, Telemundo.
Yeah.
Let's see. Other reports that their crew just got detained. For the soccer. There's a soccer tournament coming up, which is not very good timing right now. Paris Saint-Germain, these poor bastards, PSG, they just won the Champions League. They could be partying right now in Paris. Instead, they're in a hotel room in Los Angeles under curfew. They can't leave their hotel. There's like riots outside. They're actually in like the downtown area, Paris Saint-Germain. You can't make it up. They're playing on Sunday there. The FIFA World Club Cup thing is going to be a freaking disaster. Yeah, it's a stupid tournament to begin with. The players didn't want to do it. It's a cash grab, and no fans have traveled globally. Like it's a real disaster. And in fact, the opening game with Messi, they're selling tickets for $20 now. And if you buy the ticket for $20 to the opening game, they'll give you 4 tickets to another game of your choice.
Wow.
Like, so you're getting a good deal here. But like, oh, this is going to be bad. Like, it's a precursor for the World Cup next year. And it's not looking good. All right, so a lot of stuff to get to here. Time's flying by. We got Babano in the house with us, and I know he's going to have some takes. So let's keep in the CFL here, and we'll get to the Stanley Cup Finals, and we'll get Cam's golf picks once again. Babano, Bombers tomorrow. They haven't played a game yet. They're getting 3.5 now against BC. A lot of respect for the BC Lions coming off a 1 win against a mediocre Edmonton Elk team right now. What do you think about the game tomorrow night?
So Winnipeg obviously has the extra time to prepare for this game, but BC's got the game under their belt, so who do you give the advantage to? One thing I know about Winnipeg is obviously, their defense does have a lot of new faces, especially at linebacker. Remember, Adam Bighill's gone. They still have Willie Jefferson in the pass rush, but they got a couple new faces, too, on the D-line. Linebacking core is kind of revamped, although they have Cramdy back, who's a really good player. And the secondary, they lost to Mario Houston. They lost Tyrell Ford, Trey's brother, who now plays with Trey in Edmonton. They lost a lot in the secondary. And that secondary is kind of inexperienced to begin the year. And after what I saw from Nathan Rourke last week, I mean, if not for so many screw-ups in the first half from the BC Lions, they could have had 42 points in that game. Nathan Rourke couldn't have played any better. He was spectacular in the football game. Even the drives where they were screwing up, it wasn't his fault. He was awesome. I mean, he was pinpoint. He was throwing the ball with accuracy. He was making the right reads, getting the ball out quickly, using his legs. He was doing everything. Now, I know it was Edmonton, and it was at home. This is going to be tougher. But with Winnipeg's going to have the issues and the concerns, guys, that I think they might have in the secondary, I do get worried about that BC passing game maybe doing some damage. So
remember, guys, they came out of the gate real slow. Like, I'm not sure if they're going to have attention to detail there, Gabe, but that was a horrible start.
And Zach Collaros is suspended for the first game of the year.
Correct.
Yeah, Strevler's getting the start here for
Chris
Winnipeg.
Strevler. They're going to run the ball. They're going to run the ball. Like, he can't really throw, right? So he's going to run. They're going to give it to Olivier over and over and over, and they're just going to try to play smash mouth with the Lions. So your pick is what, Babano?
BC team total. Over 25.5. I like that more than I like laying the points. 26 points from BC. I think they can do it. Remember, they went into Winnipeg first month of the year. I think it was week 3 last year in June, and they beat the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. BC did. So I think they score points. I like that angle, the team total.
Remember, Babano, we still have to get to the Stanley Cup too here, right? So we got 3 other CFL games here.
I'll be quick with my golf game. You know me, I'm a machine gun. We'll just blast it out.
No, well, we have the last segment for that. Montreal Alouettes laying 4. Now that we know that Drew Brown is out, Babano, what do you think about Friday's game?
Yeah, I mean, I jumped early. This is the first bet I made in the week. Montreal minus 115, but that money line price is long gone. They're 8-0 straight up. 7-1 against the spread. Montreal over Ottawa, the last 8 meetings. 7-0 for Jason Moss over Bob Dice in the head-to-head coaching matchup since 2023. I mean, Montreal's just dominated, just owned the Ottawa Red Blacks. Now Ottawa's got a bad defense, a banged-up defense, and now no Drew Brown. So I don't see how the Montreal dominance doesn't continue. So I like the Alouettes, but unfortunately the numbers moved a lot. I lean under, too, because I don't know how Ottawa's going to move the football. That Montreal defense is really, really good, in my opinion. We saw it last week.
Calgary Stampeders and the Toronto Argonauts. I'm expecting points in this game, Cam. I'd be pulling the trigger. The only thing I will say, let me check the weather. And remember, I used to live in Liberty Village. And I used to go to a ton of Argo games all the time because it was literally down the street for me. And sometimes on these Saturday afternoons, early summer games, it's freaking hot, man. Like hot. I was there a couple of times where it was smoking hot. And smoking hot football games lead to unders. Football's not really a summer sport. So you throw these dudes But I'm just saying, this game should be a track meet, but I prefer if it's a cooler day and it's not some like smoking hot day on Saturday.
Check the weather. It's going to be the coldest day of the week. They're predicting 17 degrees and a little bit of a drizzle. So that is pretty cold. Like right now, today it was 30. So, and it was very hot. So yeah, if you get that afternoon game, nice conditions, I think we should get some points.
Babano, what's your pick, Calgary and Toronto?
I don't want to bet a side. I would probably just stick to because I don't trust Toronto. Their defense is a big reason why I faded them last week. The D-line and the secondary, tons of new faces. Montreal took advantage. And Nick Arbuckle, I don't trust. But Calgary on defense, I don't trust. I thought Calgary's an over team coming into the year. 75% new faces on D, but Vernon Adams improves the offense. So nothing on the side. I do like the over. I think that's the best bet to make in that one.
I've got Calgary over 6.5 wins, and I got Toronto under 11.5. Would be a real nice daily double for Calgary to somehow win this game, get off to a 2-0 start, and have Toronto with an 0-2 start. We got the Ticats game. Saskatchewan's a little bit beat up. I wouldn't be surprised if this number changes. The Ticats are getting 3.5 right now. On the other side, we'll give a Bano Stanley Cup pick and Cam's U.S. Open best bets. I'll throw a couple of U.S. Open darts on the board as well as championship week right now. NBA, U.S. Open, Stanley Cup Finals, Canadian Grand Prix in Montreal this week in Formula One. Let's roll.
Guess what, golfers? Vegas isn't just casinos and pool parties. In fact, there are 50 golf courses within a 15-mile radius of the Strip, all boasting beautiful desert oasis landscapes. So, if you're looking for a break from the action, consider hitting the links. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
No one is going to pick Indiana. No one's going to pick Indiana to make it close, honestly. Like, you can't really, you could get tremendous odds if you pick OKC in 7.
I think that taking the series over 5.5 games, the last 2 NBA Finals series ended in 5. I think this one goes 6. I think the Thunder will get the job done, but I think the Pacers are just too strong of a team and too talented of a team and too deep of a team to lose in 5 or fewer games.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
All right, we're to the home stretch right now. And great night tonight of basketball. Very entertaining game. And the Stanley Cup Finals are essentially on the line tomorrow night. Let's be real. The Oilers cannot afford a repeat performance. They're going to need to tie this series up. Even if they tie it up at 2, like I said earlier, the Oilers can't win the Stanley Cup tomorrow, but they can certainly lose it. They need to win tomorrow. What's your pick, Babano? Rapid fire. What do you like tomorrow in the Stanley Cup?
Edmonton, undefeated Stuart Skinner, 6-0 in Game 4s. Game 4 through 7, what's his record still? Like 14-1 Game 4 through 7, the last 2 years in the playoffs. I'm going to give Edmonton a mulligan for Game 3. It was a horrific performance, no question. They got baited into Florida's game. It's put up or shut up time for the Oilers, and I think they step up and tie the series.
Cam, your pick is the Edmonton Oilers once again tomorrow?
It sure is. I'm on the Edmonton Oilers. I think 3's a crowd. Go Oilers. They got to win this game. They got to come out hot.
Listen, Draisaitl and McDavid have been called out. They know they don't even need to be called out. They know they need to be better and have more of an impact offensively in the hockey game. I would expect them to, looking at the props for tomorrow, Draisaitl to score a goal is plus 115. McDavid to score a goal is plus 155. Sam Bennett keeps scoring. He's plus 200. Corey Perry is plus 250. Evander Kane is plus 325. Kind of feels like it's a Kane night tomorrow night that
Especially
he
after
bounces
those
back.
penalties he took. He needs to make amends for that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I can see him actually. You know what? Here's a little flyer, guys. Evander Kane, first goal of the game, 20-1.
I kind of like that. I like him and Bouchard's 25-1. I think Bouchard's another guy with all of his shot attempts. Good price.
And keep taking his shots on goal. I mean, they haven't adjusted it enough. Like he's had 8, 7, and 9 shots on goal. 3.5 is still not enough of an adjustment.
I agree.
One thing with Kane too is he sort of like shot out of a cannon to start games. Like one thing, you don't have to worry about Kane showing up. Like he'll show up. The only thing is he could show up too much where things get out of hand. But he will show up. Like he flies out of the gate early in these games. So, like I said, 20-1 for Kane to score the first goal of the game. As far as the U.S. Open is concerned, a couple of plays here for me. You know, Scheffler could win, but I got to dismiss it at plus 290. Not enough value with Bryson at plus 775. I almost feel like I'm walking into a trap with John Rahm, so I'm not going to do it. Xander not playing well enough. You know, Neiman, I don't mind Neiman as a top live player at plus 500 as a shot, but I'm thinking outside the box, Cam. I got a couple of longer shots here. And I'm not even jumping on the page as you guys in a copy effect. I was going to take them, but I like the Harris English and I like Sepp Straka, 37-1. Sepp Straka.
I like those plays. I love Sepp Straka. Gabe, I have my
and Harris English, 60-1.
No, and Brady, the thing is, Harris English was 150-1 like months ago, but everyone's like jumping on him for good reason. He shows up in majors. DeChambeau 9-1, Aberg 25. I like Fleetwood at 40. Brady also likes Cantlay at 46 and Cam Young at 150-1. Top 10, John Rahm is plus 110. My top 20s, Lowry, the Irish Bear, plus 120. Straka, plus 120. Gabe, as you like, English, plus 190. And Griffin, plus 210. First round leaders, Morikawa, 35. Fleetwood, 40. Russell Henley, 60. 3 bombs. Cam Young, 85. Aaron Rye, 90. And Matthew Pavon, 150. Some specials for you. Top South American, Joaquin Neiman. Top Scandinavian, Aberg. And a couple matchups, both fading Rory. Rahm over Rory, Gabe, at minus 115. And Lowry, plus 130 against his fellow Irishman, Rory McIlroy, fading him in all matchups.
Just quickly, shout out to our boy Degenerate Dean, who, unlike Babano, actually gave us an answer to the question about who's playing the Hamilton Tiger Cat game. They went all out. They got a battle of the bands of local Hamilton bands.
There you go. I told you.
So
they're
not even paying. They're not paying anybody to perform. They're just giving people an opportunity to perform.
Exactly. You pay us.
Yeah.
It's pretty
God
weak.
bless the Hammer. I like it.
What do you got, Babano, for the U.S. Open?
Yeah, Joaquin Neiman, 28-1. Sepp Straka, 38-1. Shane Lowry, 40. Tyrrell Hatton, 60. Harris English, 60. McNeely, 100-1. Cam Young, 110. Nick Taylor, 175. Carlos Ortiz, 175.
This Babano. Bam. Love this guy.
We're tight for time.
Yeah, we are.
Well done, Babano. Good stuff. All right, good job, Cam. Good luck with your U.S. Open picks. I'll post a few and more picks. Like I said, the Harris English top 20, Xander Schauffele top 20. Like Xander's a lock. Like for the guy's always top 20. Bryson DeChambeau has been like same thing, top 20. Bryson.